Hey lovies, welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. Welcome to my old and new subbies. I'm so glad to have you all here. As you guys saw in the thumbnails, we are back with the Just Our Imagination Open Challenge this month, and you guys know this is one of my favorite challenges to participate in, and this month's challenge was just as hilarious as all the others. As you can see, I am tussling there with a plunger because yes, that was one of our challenge items. So along with the plungers, we had to use rubber stamps as well as garden fences. So to get started, and just so you know, in this first project, I have two projects for you guys today. In the first project, I will be using all three will be incorporated into it. So what you see I'm doing here is I separated the rubber portion of the plunger from the dowels, and I only wanted the portion that has the screw piece to it, or screw part, or whatever you want to talk. I don't know what it's called, the neck. That's all I needed, the neck part. So I'm measuring it out. Now, I'm not measuring it with any rhyme or reason. If I had to guess, I would say I did one at 4 inches and one at 3 inches. I don't know why I did it that way, but my mind just said to just do it that way. I think what I was thinking, yes, this is how it goes. I think what I was thinking is I needed to create a little bit of leeway in case I didn't measure it out right, if I did it like 50-50. I think that was my thought process. Okay, this happened a few days ago, but I think that's what it was. So here I pulled out my table mini miter saw. Because the dowel was so thick, I was going to use my miter saw box, but I just could not get through it. And even for the mini miter saw, it was super, it was big. So I had to keep twisting. That's what you see I'm doing here, and adjusting it, and I eventually got it cut down. So yes, this is being hosted by Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIYs, along with Kathy Joe from Kathy Joe DIYs, and the guest host this month is Jackie from Jackie Burns Creations. So I will also have their links in my description box below, along with the awesome playlist, guys. So once you're done here, stop by and tell them I said hello, because I know you will find some hilarious inspiration, but beautiful all the same. So once we get that cut down, guys, we are just gonna go ahead and sand it down. And I did this for all 4 pieces. I needed 4 pieces for this particular project. And so once I did that, I'm going to leave that those scrap dowels, because I know I can find something else to do with them. And just as a reminder, guys, whenever you're working with any type of tools of any sort, always remember to keep your protective gear. I did have on glasses during this, but you should also wear gloves. I wasn't too concerned about wearing gloves because it was not that intense for me, and I'm just dusting around the blade. I'm not actually, under there doing my thing. But always, always, always remember your protective gear. So once I get those cut down, as you can see there, you see 2-ish shorter than 2. I know that's a lot to say. All right, so I picked my garden fences I picked my garden fences up from the 99-cent and more store. They were $1.29, roughly around about the same price as what you would get at Dollar Tree, just 4 cents more. But I like this particular style because of what I had envisioned. I was going to use a different one, but when I saw this one, I was like, oh, this one ties in even better to what I want to do. So what we are going to create today, guys, and I can't believe, whenever I pull these type of things off that pop up in my head, I'm like, wow, okay, it's okay. We're going to be making a wagon. All right. Yes, we're going to be making a wagon to carry some lemons. Not real lemons, but lemons. This is going to be something I'll probably put out on my porch. Well, I don't really have a porch. I have more like a balcony. So I'll probably put it out there. Or maybe I'll stage it in the house somewhere. I don't know yet. But it's a massive piece. This wood sign came from Dollar Tree. It's one of the blank ones that they have in their Farmhouse section. And it's roughly about, I want to say about 24 inches, give or take. I did not measure it out, but I would say give or take, it's about 24 inches. It's massive. And I really underestimated this project. I didn't think it would be this big, but it came out large and in charge. But I love it nonetheless. It came out adorable. So what you see I'm doing there is I'm taking the wood dowel, dowels, and I'm just gluing them together using a little bit of hot glue, a little bit of Gorilla Glue, the long term or heavier duty adhesive, however you want to call it, and putting them together. Now, they did not line up perfectly, guys, because if they did, then it wouldn't be me doing it. But we got it connected. That's all that matters, okay? And you will see that I did off camera add in some tape to it, and that's just to add a little bit of security until that the stronger adhesive kicks in, basically. So as you can see, it almost forming there, guys. Did y'all see it forming? Almost. All right. So okay, what am I doing here? Oh, so the little spikes in here, I thought I was originally going to keep them, but I do end up off camera cutting them down because I thought it would add some stability to the piece. Once I put the little wheels on, but me being me and I'm jumping ahead, I didn't line it up right, guys. So it didn't work out and I ended up having to cut them off. All right, so back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, so here I'm just going in with some of my territorial beige and I'm just dabbing it on because I wanted to give it that wood look. I know it's not like completely wood looking. Y'all see where I'm going with it, right? Because I was going to leave it black. Then I was like, I don't want a black wagon. I want it to look woodsy. So that's how we ended up here. And I'm just speeding up the process by using my heating tool. And that helps so much, especially right now with it being so cool. It just takes forever for things to dry. Once that does, once I do get that all dry, I go in with some of my Mod Podge just to seal it because I was having some chipping. And of course, we know when you put paint on plastic, it doesn't really go over well, or rubber. All right, so here are the rubber portion of the plungers. Lower down, the plungers, and I just painted the rim of them in white because I wanted some white rim, the wheels. Like this is a Chevy wagon, y'all. Beep beep. So it's 1951 Chevy wagon. Oh my gosh. All right. So then I had these little nautical wheels. I cut the spikes off of them because I wanted something to go in the middle of it to make it look like a wheel. And this is the closest thing I could find. Afterwards, I thought about it. I could have used probably one of my half beads or some of my half beads to do that. But I kind of like this route because it really made it seem like, okay, this is a wheel. So next, I'm just going in and screwing those on either side. And then I just seal the white part of that wheel with some more Mod Podge because it started to chip as well. So I just wanted to make sure nothing else came off. So now this is where I'm going in to add some. These are going to be what are they called? I can't think of what they're called, y'all. Crafter sticks or the popsicle sticks, whatever you want to call them. And because this garden sense, it has like little lips in there, like where the weaving is happening at the bottom. To match that, it has some little lips. So what I thought to do to make this more of a sturdier piece is I'm just gonna feed those popsicle sticks into those little grooves, and I glued them down with both some hot glue and regular Gorilla Glue. So you know, it's not like the sturdiest of sturdy, but it does help support the piece because the base of it is going to be supported on the wheels there. Now, I know you can tell a little bit those wheels, the wheels are a little willy wonky, but it's okay. It's okay. You can't tell from the side, the part, you know, the part that you need to see, the important part, you can't tell. But oh yeah, they went willy wonky, y'all. But this is how we're going to adhere this piece or these pieces to the bottom. So I'm just going in, and I thought my phone was recording. I'm sorry, my video, yeah, I was recording, but I realized I wasn't. So I was just showing you guys here how I adhered them together. Basically, I put one popsicle on either side of it, so the top of the lip and the bottom of the lip, and then I just fed them in that way. And look, guys, it's coming together. It's starting to look, it looked like a little bitty go-kart to me at first. I'm like, I see a wagon. I see it there. All right, now for the front and back closure portion, I'm taking some more of the craft sticks and I just cut them down to size to fit. And I'm just going to secure them together using the smaller craft sticks. And that way I just didn't have to put any glue on within the seam, so it wouldn't have any gaping. So that way this just keeps it all close together. And I do end up adding more glue to the back of it, but it's not important. Like, I'm going to paint over it so you won't really like notice it a whole lot. But once I get them together, I go in with some of the Territorial Beige and give them 2 full coats of that. And yeah, and so I'm going to use my heating tool, as you guys can see, to dry that up. And then in the back, I'm going to go in with some black paint, and that's just to match the inside of the overall wagon on the inside. I think I said that twice. So then next, to just kind of tie into the sides, I'm going to give the line some distressing. And this, I know it looks like a long hallway, but it's the actual wagon sitting upright. And I'm sorry, it was so close to the camera. It didn't look like it was that close, but it was really close, I guess. So here I'm just sealing off the front and back of it. And I'm saying, guys, like, I really like this. Like, it really came together for me, and I was so excited about this, because when you get these challenge items, you just kind of think like, what am I gonna do? And your mind is just racing and going and going. And some way or another, this popped up in my head, and I was like, I'm gonna roll with it and see what happens. But look at it. I wish it could actually roll, but look, I mean, come on. Even though that little wheel, you know, is looking like a little kickstand back there, but it's okay. It's okay. It's a wheel. All right. And just to add some more security, I'm putting some more of the crafter sticks on top. And this totally works, guys. And it's not a heavy piece, but it does have a little bit of weight to it. And once I actually add the fruit into it, it's like, oh, okay. So I had a little gapping there, and it was some gapping throughout. Like, it was not perfect, guys, by any means. But again, with this particular challenge, just think about the items that we had to use. We typically use those items to create something like this. I mean, I don't know that I would, but hey, it's a challenge and I love it. So next I had another garden gate, and I was gonna, well, what I'm doing here is I'm cutting out the little pieces, or that little piece that has a little curly cues on it there, because I was like, oh, that'll make a cute handle for it. But when I cut it out and I was trimming it down, and I was just like, I don't like the way this looks. Like, it just looks ugly to me. So I actually end up like tossing it, and I left it on camera because I got mad. I was like, I don't like this. I was pouting. I was throwing a crafting tantrum. And so, yeah, I was like, yeah, we're done with you. So I decided to cut the rim off of one of the plungers. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make it into a moon shape or a half shape or whatever you want to call it, like a half circle. And I will take one of my flat wood dowels, and I'm going to put it on either side, one piece on either side, glue them together, and there you have it. Voila. A handle is born. Okay. I used my plunger, y'all. I used it. I used them up. And in the good way, I used my plungers. Okay. Oh man, this was hilarious to me, but it was so much fun. I really enjoyed this challenge. I really truly did. So now, I'm sorry I'm off camera, but what I'm doing is lining it up to go in the front of the wagon. And I am going to give you guys a side view because I know, you know, the camera is not capturing it all. But look, it looks like a wagon. So next I had these paper lemons that says fresh lemons on them. And I was like, yo, I'm going to put this. I was going to add some wood letters, but I didn't like the way it looked on there. And then I didn't want to run the risk of them popping off. So I was like, I'm going to just run with this paper. You know, what can it hurt? If it doesn't work, I can always take them off. It doesn't necessarily need anything, but because they said fresh lemons on there, I went with it. So next, I'm just filling up the basket with some scrap pool noodle pieces that I had. And this is just to create a filler because this thing is deeper. Like I said, it's so much larger than what I thought it was going to be. And so it was really deep as well. So now I have some of this gift filler or decorative filler, and I went with this option opposed to using floral moss because I was like, it's just going to be too much of a mess, and I just didn't want to deal with that, and I wanted it to have that kind of hay look. And so I just did 3 bags of the filler, and it worked out perfectly. Like, one of them I think they kind of skipped me on, but it still worked out perfect. Now I had lemons and limes, but I didn't have a whole lot of lemons, so I mixed them up, but I still think you get the full vibe. You know, we'll just call them unripe lemons. How about that? Okay. But I just filled them up, and guys, I can't wait for y'all to see it. It's so cute. Oh my God. Okay, so next, how I'm going to use this plunger is I'm taking some plaster of Paris. I'm going to take some clear glue, and with plaster of Paris, it's always 2 versus 1 part. So 2 parts plaster, 1 part water. I am going to add in about a teaspoon and a half of the clear school glue, and that's just going to give me a tighter seal for the plaster of Paris. Now this sets up really fast, so you have to work fast. And this is where I am dumping it in, and I am like I said, I'm doing my 2 parts versus 1, and I'm just going to start mixing. Now I only use this bowl for my crafts and that spoon for my crafts. You know, I don't use it to eat or anything like that. So next I'm just pouring in the glue, and I did eyeball it, so I would say like probably about a teaspoon and a half I used here, and I'm just going to get that well incorporated, and it's going to give a very loose, like, pancake batter texture. Now what I did mess up with this, because I was like not rushing but going, I didn't pop out the bubbles. Now you can use your heating tool, or you can just tap it on the table and just, you know, eventually get the bubbles out, but I was just going and not stopping to realize. So it is going to have a few bubbles in it, but it didn't stop my show. We kept going. So here we are about, I would say this is probably about 30 minutes later. I'm sorry, I filmed this way in advance, but I think it was probably about 30 minutes later, and they were already solid as a rock. Okay, and so once we get those all set up, I did let them end up sitting overnight though, and so there you have it. Now you can also add in some white paint here if you want to. If you choose to use plaster of Paris, if you choose to recreate this, you can definitely add in some white paint, but I wanted this natural color because I felt like it was going to play well into what I'm going to create, which is going to be half lemons for my lemon wagon. Hello, somebody. I sure did. I said what I said, and I did what I did. Oh my goodness. All right, so here I'm just free form drawing, and this is not perfect. This is just a guiding tool, if you will, for me, because as you can see, I'm painting over this in the color Maze by Waverly, and that color is thin, so I'm gonna see the lines that I created, and I wanted that to be the case because it actually gives it a nice contrast. It actually adds to the whole painting. Now it's not perfect. I wanted this to kind of have a watercolor feel to it, if you will, and I'm just going back and forth with the white and yellow paint, like literally I was going back and forth, just creating these layers until I got it to a place where it was like, okay, it was bearable. Trying to make it not look so much like a sun. But I think I captured it. So one of them were more bold than the other one, but when you guys see it at the final reveal, you'll see it did come together. Like, they did end up looking like lemons, in my opinion. So now this is where I'm going to go in with the rubber stamps. So I have these fruit rubber stamps. I'm going to use the lemon, and one is like a half orange, but I felt like, you know what, it looks like a half lemon, so I'm going to just roll with it. And then also I'm going to be using some of the rubber stamps from Dollar Tree, the one that says welcome. So one is just going to say welcome, and then it's going to have a picture of the lemons, and then the other one is going to say fresh lemons. I'm using some wood letters for those. I'm jumping ahead, of course. And it is going to say like 25 cents, and it's also going to have rubber stamps, the little stamp picture on it. So yeah, look at it. Look at it. I'm so excited, guys. Oh my goodness. And don't forget, guys, to check out the playlist in my description box below. If you guys happen to come here first before visiting the playlist, Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you stopping by today. Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope everybody's had a great weekend. Here in California, we did have our time change, so we gained us an extra hour this morning. I got up and went to church with my family, things like that. So, yeah. So I was a little late to joining this today, and I had to do my voiceover really fast. So, yeah. Oh, and I'm actually doing it the day of. So that's why I'm like, I can't remember every single little thing that happened here. But as you can see, I'm just going in with my stamps here and just applying them. And I did pick up this box of ink pads off of Amazon. I think I got 15 or 16. No, I think I got 15. Yeah, 15 in a pack. I want to say it was like $7 or $8 off of Amazon. And then the rubber stamps and things I had just have been collecting over, some time. So yeah. And look at this. I really, really like the way this came together. I hope it looks like a lemon, guys. Does it look like a sun or look like a lemon? I don't know. Wait till you guys see at the end. I mean, at least I tried, right? I used a mold. I used the rubber part of a plunger. Let's focus on that. I used the rubber part of the plunger to make a lemon mold. Okay? Yeah, that's what I did. Who does that? Who uses a plunger to make half of a lemon mold? Who does it? May. Only on this channel will you ever see anything like that. I think it's pretty cool. I think it matches the picture on the side of the wagon. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? I think so. And this is where I go in with the little wood letters. I did paint those off the camera as well. I just used the black paint by Waverly. I don't even think I mentioned that in the beginning. I used the white paint was by Waverly. The black paint was by Waverly. I used a zinc color, and I think that was by Folk Art. Oh no, that's coming up. I'm jumping ahead. Wait, shush, May, you talk too much. But yeah, so I used that those colors. I don't know if I mentioned it, but yeah. And here we are just going in, and I'm just spelling it out like I'm trying to line it up right, guys. And I still end up putting it over to the side because it was going all well right there. And then until I put lemons, I need to move the L over a little bit, but it still worked out well because I had to add in the 25 cents part. And so I end up putting it over there in the little area that's like open. So it worked out. Don't judge me, guys. I think this was really cute. I really love the idea of this, and just, I think it's pretty cute. I think it was just really, really adorable. And I'm blown away with the fact that I used the rubber portion of the plunger to do it. I think that was pretty neat. All right, so our second project of today, guys, we are going to be making a scale for our lemons. Yes, I've always wanted to make one of these, and I've seen it done in different ways and everything. And I was like, you know what? How can I make one with the plunger? And I decided, okay, I'm going to use this wood base, as you saw there from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use one of their candy dishes from Dollar Tree, and I'm painting it in that color black by Folk Art. And this is where I'm going to use the color zinc. I think it's by Folk Art, or it's either by Folk Art or it's by decor, one of the two. But what I'm doing is I wanted to give it a metal look, but here this paint I've had in my stash, so it has started to separate, so I needed to shake it up a little bit. So that's why I was rolling it on the napkin, because it was giving this like foamy, bubbly stuff happening once it touched the paint. I was like, oh no, that can't be good. So I just shook it up and it came back to normal. And I just want to give it this metallic look, finish to it, kind of iron metallic look. I don't know. This was the route I was going. This was the look I was going after, and I don't know what to call it, but that's the look I was going after. And I'm just using a little pouncing brush and just giving it a little twist as I move it around. And I really love the way this came together. Now you can also add in a little splash of white here to give it a little bit more contrast, but I just wanted this look, this metal look. That's what I was going after. So once I do that, I go in with this clock face that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. It was on discount for $2.50, and you can definitely print this out or draw it. I just saw this when I was there, and I was like, oh, this will work for me, because I know it's not like looking like an actual scale, but I still was like, you know what, this works. It has the numbers on it. You get the idea where I'm going with this. And so then I just picked up some of the little clock hands, and decided that, you know, okay, I'll add those in here too. So here I just had to cut it down, because even the smaller one was super long, so I just had to cut it down really short, and that part did look a little willy wonky to me, but at the end of the day I got what I wanted, and it really turned out cute. And so I just glue that down, and then I just go in and put the little like base part to the for the hand in there, and I'm going to secure that with some of the regular Gorilla Glue as well as hot glue as well. And no rhyme or reason of what number I chose. I just was facing it kind of towards the 2. And that was it for adding the face on here, guys. And I love this. I truly, truly love this. Then I was thinking afterwards, I could have kind of put maybe a scale for like to make it look like a clock, but I'm like, no, I want it to look like a little scale. And maybe I can even go back and add like, put like the little LB for pounds or something like that, or put like the 1/4, 1/4, you know, 1/2, all that stuff. And so next I'm just gonna take the top of the candy dish and apply it to the plunger. Oddly enough, that the top part of it screwed into the plunger nicely. That's what I was showing you guys. I know it's kind of pushed back, but I just added in some glue to keep it together, but it was actually holding on pretty tight by itself. And look, guys, it's turning into a scale. Look. I was so excited about this. And then next, I'm just going to add some more of that glue, and I'm going to put the base on here. And guys, I can't believe that this actually came together. I actually pulled it off. I love everything today. Guys, you have to let me know how you feel about it. If you had a favorite, how did I do with the challenge item? Let me know. Do you see what I see? Did I do it? And here's our final reveal. Don't forget to check out that playlist, lovies. And I want to thank Kathy, Jill, Brenda, and Jackie for hosting this event this month. It was awesome. Guys, don't forget to check out the playlist and let those ladies know that I'm headed their way to see what they have created for you guys. I know you will find some inspiration along the way. I can guarantee it. And if you haven't already done so, lovies, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting, just because you know how I feel about those comments, because I love to chat with you guys after each and every video. I know I have comments from the other video, guys, but tonight when I settle down, I will be answering each and every one of them. All right, so lovies, until the next video, be safe, be kind, and happy crafting your days away. Hugs and kisses. XOXO. Bye.